And this little fucking cat sinks his teeth into my arm. Not once, not twice, but 4 times. The bliss of the abyss.
Once upon a time in a land far away, a poor farmer and his wife lived all alone. They were very lonesome.
Of the Abyss.
With Robert Newmark Jones. Greetings from the Abyss. It's your host, as usual, me. Hello. How is everybody doing out there? In Lockdownville. In lockdown. In or out of lockdown. How are you doing this fine afternoon? It is 2:20 on a Monday, and I have lots to talk about. Great show lined up for you today, as opposed to every other week, which has been, let's face it, shit. But this week's going to be really good, I can tell you that. And you know why? Listen. That is me taking an antibiotic. So that should kick in about half an hour, and you might even be able to hear it in my voice that I'm a bit shaky, I'm a bit wobbly, because I'm on these strong antibiotics. They're very strong, these antibiotics. They're very strong. They make Daddy feel strange and go all wobbly and quavery. But my commitment to you, the listening public, the beautiful people who support this show, is to bang one of these out every week. And I forgot to promote last week's episode, which dented the listening figures somewhat. So there is some truth, I suppose, in the received wisdom that you should promote despite hating it. But I think I've got a bit better at it, but it just does not come naturally to me. It's like I used to work doing door-to-door sales in the Sheffield and surrounding areas on a commission-only basis, which I believe is illegal. I'm sure it's illegal. It was horrible. It was grim. What a terrible time of my life that was. In winter. In the Sheffield and surrounding environs, such as Rotherham, etc., Scunny. And I worked for this door-to-door sales company trying to switch people onto N-Power. And it ripped apart my soul. Partly because I was quite good at it, which was even worse. Because I'd have liked to just be terrible at it and be fired. That would have made my life a lot easier. But I was quite good at it. And that meant I was more miserable than you could possibly imagine because I kept doing the job. And one of the worst things about being good at this job is they had this ritual every morning of what they called ringing the bell. And basically what that means is if you made 3 sales yesterday, at least 3, then what's his name? Who was the guy who ran it? Let's call him Darren. He would play some techno. Everyone would stand in a circle and you would have to jog round the circle high-fiving people. Sounds like I'm making it up, doesn't it? No, it was true. It was one of the worst times of my life. I became profoundly depressed. That really was the abyss. There was very little bliss. I had to spend quite a lot of time with people that I didn't really have much in common with, as people often do in jobs. But one of the worst experiences ever was we drove to Rotherham, which, if you've never been, is a slightly impoverished, run-down city in the Yorkshire area of the UK. I'd rung the bell that morning, so I was in a great mood. We stopped off at McDonald's where, can't remember his name, let's call him Stan, who was actually an all right bloke. bought a pack of 20 chicken nuggets and ate them all. No sauce. We just ate this our McDonald's in the car, and one of the other guys started talking about being in the BNP, which, if you've never heard of the BNP, I am jealous of you, quite frankly, envious, but they are a far-right, or at least were, I wonder if they exist anymore, far-right party, just overtly racist. I think British National Party is what it stood for. And he just started banging on about how great they were. And I said, you do know I'm Jewish, don't you? And he went, oh, are you? And gave me this look. And it ended the conversation. But boy, was the tension palpable. Didn't hang out with him much after that. But the couple of hours that we spent in the car together that day was brutal. And I didn't make any sales that day, perhaps being a bit distracted by the anti-Semitism coursing through my veins. And we hit a particularly impoverished estate that day, where people would do either one or two things. The most common thing is that they would not answer the door. The second most common thing was that they'd tell you to fuck off quite aggressively, which, you know, you think, oh, it's water off a duck's back, innit? Yeah, it's just part of the game, rejection. I tell you what, though, once you've heard that, 6 times in a row with real venom, they really meant it. It does start to get to you. So I did that for quite a while. Why am I even telling you about that? I remember when I quit, I came home, they'd start making you work quite late. So I'd get home pretty late, and I was sat in the living room, and my friend and housemate Tim, who I still have very good friends with to this day. Shout out to Tim Phoebun. Fantastic human, and he's a great musician as well, and he's got cool hair. So I think I was sat in the in the kitchen late at night, lights off, having just some whiskey and, bemoaning my feeling. And I said to him, Tim came in, he was like, "You all right, mate? What's up?" I was like, "How often do you think about killing yourself?" That's a cheery opener, isn't it? Hey, Tim, how often do you think about killing yourself? And he said, like, never, Rob. How often do you? And I said, like, always, Tim. And he said, right, mate, why is that? And I said, my job. And he said, why don't you quit? And can you hear that? Can you hear that fucking music? These bastards playing Bump and Grind 2:30 on a Monday when people are trying to work and record podcasts. Boom, ba-dum, boom, boom, ba-dum, boom. Notice how every song has that beat these days? Boom, ba-dum, boom, boom, ba-dum, boom. Yeah, for some strange reason, I hadn't even considered quitting, and I did the next day. And I was very poor afterwards, but my God, did it feel better. So thanks, Tim. Maybe in one way you saved my life, because that was really the abyss. I was really down there. I was really in it. Can someone remind me why I started telling this story? Am I going to have to go back and listen? Promotion. That's it. That's why I was talking about it. You see, I do listen, eh? I do pay attention. I do try my best. Yeah, it doesn't come naturally to me, but I'm getting better at it. And that's how I got on to telling you about one of my stories of failure. Oh, yeah, what a time that was. I'm so glad I gave that job up. Thanks, Tim. What do I want to tell you about this week? Do you want to know why I'm on antibiotics? First of all, let me start off by saying happy Cyber Monday, everybody. God, what are you going to do with your Cyber Monday, eh? Oh, so much fun. Cyber Monday. Doesn't it just stir the passions, make you proud to be a human, that we've made it to Cyber Monday together? Against all odds, eh? Hey? In 2020, we've actually made it to Cyber Monday. So I was celebrating Thanksgiving with my wonderful wife and life partner, Caitlin. And as some of you may know, Caitlin is an American. And every year we have thrown a Thanksgiving party where we invite all our friends, every single one of them. We always have a lovely bash. It's a great shindig. For all you cynical Brits out there, grow up. Okay? I don't want to hear about how it's, all of the racist origins of it. Yeah, I'm not interested in that. I'm not interested in you calling it cheesy because you all go around and say thanks. I'm not interested in that. All right? Keep your tired hack. I'm dying. Material to yourself. I love Thanksgiving, and we have actually created a wonderful sort of culture of our own little group of people who come every year, more or less. Some people can't make it one year, some people can. We've had some Americans come over and join in, and we've had many a wonderful year. And often some good friends will come early and help out. And obviously none of that could happen this year at all. So we didn't do it instead. No, we did. We did do it. We still did it. And Caitlin had this really nice idea of filming a time lapse. So if you follow me on TikTok, yeah, I'm on TikTok. Don't judge me. I had to. All right, I had to. They wouldn't let me be. They wouldn't let me be. They wouldn't let me go. I'm on TikTok now. But yeah, Bliss of the Abyss on TikTok. Follow me. I've only got 7 posts. Anyway, we did a time-lapse video of all the preparation of getting all the food ready, and we did a smaller version, but we did all the classics. We'd got the turkey. We've got the roast potatoes. I know that's a lot of people have mash, but we do roast potatoes because you cook them in goose fat, and oh my God, you vegetarians will never understand the difference. And I've been a veggie. I did 7 years, man and boy. I did my time in the coalface. I know what it's like. But now I can eat goose fat potatoes, and they are unbelievably good. We did the Brussels sprouts, the Ottolenghi style. We did a truffle mac and cheese with mushroom. We did stuffing, gravy. There was cranberry sauce. We didn't have any fights. We put up the tree, and we recorded, like I said, the time lapse, but also we recorded a little video to send to our friends for things that we were thankful for. So if you didn't get that video, you're not my mate. That's not true. If you didn't get that video, it means you haven't been to our Thanksgivings before. But that doesn't mean we don't like you or that we forgot about you. So that's what we did. And going against all of my history, we also put up a Christmas tree. I've never done that before. My mum, my Jewish mummy, we've had a Christmas tree every year of my life, and we always get it like the day before Christmas. It goes up and decorated Christmas Eve, and it comes down usually like New Year or something. It doesn't last long, but it's a glorious thing. It's like a I don't know, a paper moth. Do you know what I mean? Or like one of those like that you read about, like those insects that like their lifespan is they spend 36 years underground and they come out for an afternoon and then die. I think that's actually, if not entirely true, at least quite close to the truth. So our Christmas tree has always been like that. But this year it's up. It's 6 foot tall and glorious, and it's got baubles on it, and it's bringing a bit of bliss. So I would recommend my recommendations this week. All right, welcome to Rob Recommends, where every week your host, Ruskin Denmark, takes you through some recommendations. Recommendation number 1, this year, try putting up your Christmas tree a bit early. It actually brings a bit of joy. Recommendation number 2, don't forget to get some lights for it. Again, bring some joy. Recommendation number 3, have yourself a Thanksgiving and say what you're thankful for. And you know what? Mean it, yeah? Don't be cynical about it. Anyway, though, why am I telling you about my Thanksgiving? Because, it's something to talk about. Why not? What's wrong with that? Oh, God, I think the antibiotics are kicking in. Anyway. So, we're having a lovely, festive, merry occasion. Getting a little bit toasty, having some nice wine, and very much enjoying our meal, which we then put into little Tupperwares and delivered to some of our neighbours with a little note saying, what was in there and that we were thankful for them. It's a nice thing to do, isn't it, eh? Hey? Aren't we lovely people? Shouldn't we all pat ourselves on the back? Anyway, our cat is called Stevie, and we love Stevie. Some people don't, and I get it. Listen, cats aren't for everyone. In fact, a cat is for life, not just for Thanksgiving. But little Stevie, she is sort of the only female cat around. We've got quite a busy cat community around here. Let me give you some of the classics. We got Stevie Daddy, who looks like Stevie and is big and poofy and black, and we think is Stevie's dad. Dunno. We've got Socks, who actually kind of used to half live here when we first moved in. Very friendly neighborhood cat, tuxedo style. Socks Clinton, as he's sometimes known, or Socrates. Then we've got Reverse Socks, who is like the opposite color shades. So black and white, but in why am I explaining that? That's obvious. Reverse Socks is kind of Stevie's boyfriend. He comes round, he serenades. I don't think he's neutered because the noises he makes. Oh my God! Brow, 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 brow. And so he'll come, call him for Stevie, and Stevie will get all excited, and she'll look out, she'll be like, oh my God, he's here, my little artist lover. And yeah, so he'll come round, and they'll kiss with their noses a little bit, and he'll walk around the garden singing, and she will generally sort of hide under the barbecue. But very into it. But they're sort of star-crossed lovers. I mean, Stevie's fixed as well, so which I've always thought that's a bit of a weird expression, isn't it? Fixed for a cat. It's like, Jesus Christ, what was it, broken because it had a working reproductive system? Anyway, I didn't come up with it. I'm just using it. Now, Caitlin says she can do a better Reverse Socks than me, so I'm going to invite her in to do it. So, here we go. Special guest appearance. Fan favourite. Caitlin might be coming in any minute now. Who knows? Maybe if I talk a bit louder, she'll understand and come in. Who knows? That could happen. But... And here she is, Miss Universe. Hello, my darling.
I'm here. I traveled long and far. I expect you to pay my petrol cost.
Everything shall be invoiced and sorted out. Welcome to the podcast. How are you doing?
I'm doing really well.
Thank you.
You sound... I'm glad it's all about me. This is nice.
I sound what? Weird?
No, you sound great considering you feel weird.
I feel so wobbly.
Yeah.
I have to tell you. I do not feel good.
No, I know, but you're doing good. You're doing well.
Well, thank you.
Are you having bone broth?
I'm trying my best. I'm not having bone broth. That is mint tea.
It smells like
The Vicks. I'm having the Vicks.
No, it smells like stock. You smell like stock.
I smell
Rob.
like stock. Wow, killing it. Yeah, it's my new cologne.
Muty.
Meaty by Lynx. What is it? Axe body spray. Meaty.
A meaty experience.
Anyway, I've called you in here to showcase one of your wonderful talents. Can you please replicate the noises, the amorous singing, the call of reverse socks?
Oh God, this is horrible.
No, I think you're capturing some of the... Yeah, the ennui. There he is.
You're like, shut up, I just want to throw a boot at you. I want to throw a boot at myself. Like, it's not even that good, but, you know.
Yeah. What, do you think he's a tortured artist, or do you think that's us projecting?
Yes.
Good answer.
You don't know what I said yes to.
I know, but it seemed to fit.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Anything else you'd like to share with the lovely listeners of this podcast? On this wonderful Cyber Monday?
Oh yeah, it's Cyber Monday. Remember when CyberSex was a thing?
By which you mean sex on the internet. I think that's still quite popular.
It was called cybering, though. Like, it was weird when... Did you not know that?
What is it? Shall I Google it?
Yeah.
Cybering.
Yeah, you'd go into, like, forums, and you'd always have some kid go, like, hey, you want to cyber?
And what did you do? Just talk dirty?
That's what it is, I think.
Cybering.
It's the age sex location.
Oh, ASL. Cybersex, also called computer sex, internet sex, net sex, and colloquially cyber or cybering, is a virtual sex encounter in which two or more people connected remotely via a computer network send each other sexually explicit messages describing a sexual experience. Wow.
Mm-hmm. That was like the height of age sex location.
That was used AIM, right? Or what was the other one? Messenger?
What are the forums, though? There were like
Windows
all these
Messenger?
chat forums that
Yeah.
like
I
get
was
these
never
people
in those.
pretending to be like, I don't know, 15-year-olds and they're really 35. Or,
Oh, gosh.
you know.
Straying into...
The age of the predators. Age the predators. The predators!
Is there something you need to confess to me at this point?
Oh, what was that? Chat roulette.
Oh, well, chat roulette's more like penis roulette,
My
isn't it?
friend and I convinced someone that we lived in Spain with my like basic Spanish on chat roulette.
Let's look up chat roulette and see how quick it is before we get a penis. I guess it's still a thing, right?
This was like a nice person though who
Random video
was
chat.
Portuguese and we were pretending to be Spanish. It was really weird.
I don't have the sound on.
Or the camera.
No sign up required. Enable camera. I don't really want to, but I guess I have to. Enable camera. Allow. I feel like this is a terrible idea
I didn't ask you to do
to
this.
do all of this, but there we go.
Oh, where's the...
Should we just do random chat
Yeah.
or... no, nudity ban. Let's do unmoderated. Use at your own risk. Here we go.
Where is the camera?
Start. The camera's there.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
It's not a penis.
It's not a penis.
I mean, I'm skipping. That's not.
Wow.
That's not even a thing. That's just blank.
It's a background.
There we go. Penis.
We found a penis.
It wasn't a solo penis. That was a full-on blowjob. So what did it take? 3?
We took 3. We did pick the unmoderated one, which never used to exist. It used to just
It
be
used to
chat
just
roulette.
be, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you can see why. Oh, there's another penis. All right, okay. You know what?
gross.
Let's really get rid of this. So since you've come in, you've really disrupted this podcast
Happy
quite a lot.
Cyber Monday!
Happy Cyber Monday, my darling. I am thankful for you. Now get your sweet tushy out of here.
Oh, wow. Welcome and leave him, huh? Bye.
Bye. That's Caitlin. In case you were confused, 2 people. Yeah. So those are the cats. Those are the neighbourhood cats. We've got a few others who sort of maybe will pop up here and there, but they're bit part players. They're really, some of them don't really have names. They're just described by their colour. And honestly, I forgot one other who we've called Max, who we believe is Stevie's brother. He looks like him. He's a very timid, shy, but quite sweet cat. And all of these cats are... Okay. We know Socks has an owner. Reverse Socks, I don't know about. Like I said, he's an unknown quantity. Stevie Daddy has an owner. But they're also kind of always out and about, cats. Having an owner for them is not the same thing, right? It's like, yeah, sure. Stevie's the most homebody of the lot of them. She'll happily spend the whole day in. Sometimes she'll scratch to go out for a bit. Sometimes she'll spend a bit of time out. But a lot of the time she's just happy to sit on her perch and sleep, or look at all the boys who always come round to visit. And occasionally we'll get into scraps over Stevie because she's a prize, eh? Look at her. I wonder where Reverse Socks is. I haven't seen him today. You'd think the call might have brought him scampering in, but wasn't to be. It wasn't to be. God, I feel so weird. Can't believe I smell like beef broth. It's really depressing. Although I think I am going to actually have some fucking beef broth. Back in a minute. I'm back with the beef broth. Tell you what, if you don't feel good, have yourself a cup of bone broth, mate. It does make you feel better. And I think it's really good for you as well. Oh, it's full of good stuff for you. So I've got a bit of beef broth now. Bone broth. Oh God, I'm weak and falling apart. Anyway, where was I? I was telling you the tale of Thanksgiving. Which turned into a long one, hasn't it? And so I've told you all about the cats, the neighbourhood cats. You've got the crew now. You know what's up. And here's what's coming next. Stevie is outside. It's towards the end of the afternoon. So the sun is beginning to set, as it does at 1 p.m. nowadays, which is always fun. And I'm out in the garden. No, I'm not out in the garden. I hear a commotion in the garden. And look out, and there's some cats screaming, and Socks has taken a swipe at Stevie, who has retreated. And so daddy instincts kick in. I open the door. I go, "Hey, Socks. Oi, you. Enough of that." But Socks is kind of not listening to me and still kind of going after Stevie. So I approach Socks. Now, let me just reiterate. Socks has spent the evening in this house. When we first moved in, he would come all the time, feed him, very, very lovely, loving. Never had any kind of issues with him. Pick him up, chuck him around. I even played fetch with him. One weird afternoon, for some reason, we had this little blue ball. God, I am falling apart. And I was out in the garden. It was a lovely sunny day, and Socks, she, we're not sure. Well, now we are. Always assumed it was a female, but learned recently that's probably not the case. But Socks identifies as female anyway. For some reason, yeah, she kept bringing me this ball, and I'd throw it, and he'd go and grab it and come back. It was genuinely playing fetch catch with a cat, which was awesome. So, it's a long way to say that, like, me and Socks, we're tight, yeah? We're buds, all right? So, me telling him off, that's fine. That's, sometimes he oversteps and, you get what's coming. So, I pick up Socks to remove Socks from being close to Stevie. And this little fucking cat sinks his teeth into my arm. Not once, not twice, but 4 times. Doosh, 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 bite, before I can throw him. I mean, the bites come so fast like I'm trying to eject him, but there are so many bites already. And my arm is just covered in bites. And I yell, oh boy. You would have been scared if you'd have heard that guttural yell, because I would have killed that cat in that moment of rage. I'll admit to it now. You can cancel me if you want. Cancel me if you must. But I was also just in a state of shock. I'm like, socks, man. After all we've been through, eh? After all we've been through, mate, you and me. The ups, the downs. Never in a million years would I expect this from you, buddy. That fucking cat. So, I'm now obviously bleeding from cat bites. I go in and I wash it, and, Caitlin's like, oh my God, what happened? And I explain what happened. Everyone's very surprised. Everyone being just me and her, because that's all you're allowed to do these days. Oh, God. Anyway, so, I wash it out and, put some antiseptic in it. And I'm like, well, it's probably fine, isn't it? Right? It's probably fine. She's like, well, maybe call 111 just in case. For those who don't know, American listeners or abroad, 111 is kind of like the non-emergency number. So instead of 999, it's 111. You talk to like healthcare people. It's free advice line, and they're connected to the NHS. So if something goes wrong, they can send you to a hospital, etc. So I call them up, and I'm like, I have to. The amount of times I had to press 2, do you know what I mean? It's like press 2, because there were so many times where they were trying to make me tell them that I had COVID. If this is COVID related, please press 1. For everything else, press 2. Boop. If you have been in close contact with anyone with the coronavirus, press 1. Not press 2. Boop. Have you got COVID? Do you please? Can you have COVID? Press 1. Or if you don't, press 2. Boop. Okay, we're now connecting you to an advisor. Ring, ring, ring. Welcome to NHS 111. If you or anyone you know is suffering with symptoms of COVID, oh, fucking hell. So I finally get through to someone on the phone, and I explain everything to them about how me and this cat, we were tight, we were buds. And, they go through it with me, and they're like, well, even though you think you know this cat, how well do you know this cat, And I was like, that's a good question, yeah. How well does anyone know anyone, Who even am I? So things got deep pretty quickly, but they said that they'll get someone who's a bit more of an expert to call me back. In the meantime, Dr. Google, or Bing, as I prefer. Me and Caitlin, obviously. What are you going to do? I've just been bitten all over by a cat, so we're looking up what to do. And it turns out, getting bitten by a cat, I might sound like an idiot here, because apparently everyone knows this, really serious. Now, what obviously I failed to take into consideration was that cats are very clean, aren't they? They've got lovely coats. They're not messy in the same way as a dog is. And this is because they spend so much of their time cleaning themselves with their tongue. And this includes their butthole. So, just facts. And other genital areas. And everywhere, really. And that means that tongue and those teeth are cesspools. So, yeah, swimming with infectious virus. And horrible. I mean, I can say that. Can't I? Yeah? Horrible. So, in the meantime, I'm washing it with soap and water. I'm keeping it elevated. We try and carry on. We're watching a Thanksgiving classic. What was it? It was the Philadelphia Story, I think, which is like a Cary Grant movie from the 50s or something. It was really fun. Old school kind of movie. Holiday feel. Chestnuts roasting on an open fire. And then get a call back, and it's like, hello, I'm Dr. So-and-so, Dr. Isaac Sandwich from the NHS. You have to come to hospital. You have to go to hospital. And I was like, oh, but I don't want to. I don't want to, please. They were like, listen, I can't force you to go to hospital, but it is my medical professional opinion that you should go to a hospital as soon as possible. And, it's Saturday night. going to A&E is just not anybody's idea of what they want to do, is it? And I've made this mistake before when I rolled an ankle when I was like, I don't know, 18. And I was like, oh my God, I better go to hospital. So I went to hospital and it was a Saturday night and the place is rammed with people who are in serious situations. And basically, if you've got a rolled ankle, you are bottom of the list, fairly. I mean, at the time, I didn't realise that was fair. I thought, why aren't I being seen? So I spent something like 8 hours, I don't know, just ages waiting for someone to come and see me. And when they finally did, they were like, oh, you've got a rolled ankle, have you? Yeah, well, rest it, elevate it, compress it, see you later. But I was like, so I said, okay, thanks, I don't want to. And they said, I can't force you, but you really should. And I went, okay, thank you, goodbye. Hung up. And obviously Caitlin's like, I think you should go to hospital. And I was like, I think I got this. I was like, you know what, actually, I've got an idea. I know where Socks lives, right? We've seen Socks coming in and out of this house, just down, it's the neighbours down the road a little bit. So I'm going to go and knock on them and see if, Socks has had her shots. If Socks has had all her shots, we're cool, right? We're cool. We're cool. And I won't have to go to hospital. So on I go. Knock, knock, knock. Hello. Hello, neighbour. I don't know your name. It's a bit of a strange house. I'm not going to go into the details of that. It's just a bit odd. But I, tell them the situation, give them the lowdown, and I'm like, what's going on? And they're like, oh my God, Socks has never bitten anyone. Only they don't say Socks, of course, because I find out Socks is actually called TC. Right? TC. It's like, what? Why? And they're like, did you ever see Top Cat? And I'm like, you are speaking my language. Of course I saw Top Cat. For those of you who didn't see Top Cat, what are you doing with your life? Top Cat was great. Or was it? I don't know. Had a cool theme tune.
Top Cat, the most effectual Top Cat, whose intellectual close friends get to call him TC, providing it's with dignity. Top Cat, the indisputable leader of the gang. He's the boss, he's a bit, he's a championship, he's the most tip-top Top Cat. Yes, he's the chief, he's the king, but above everything, he's the most tip-top Top Cat. Top Cat!
That's the theme for Top Cat, in case you were at any point confused. So that is Socks' actual name. And yeah, Socks has had all his, it is a boy, we find out. He's had all his injections. He has them every year. And he's been fixed as well. And he's a great little cat and he's never bit anyone. And as they're telling me this, who wanders through the house but Socks and comes up to me rubbing on my leg like, nothing happened. Like we're buds, which we used to be, mate. But I hold grudges, yeah? So I'm like, oh, okay, so that should be cool then. That's right, that's all good. So get back, tell Caitlin the news. Wow, TC, who'd have thought? And, after talking it through a bit, it's like, yeah, you're going to go to hospital and I'm coming with you. And thank you very much, Caitlin. This is the right thing to do. It's, see previous message about the mouth. So we get to the hospital. I don't know what time it was, like 11, something like that. Quite late. And obviously a little bit drunk. Hospitals are never fun, are they? But actually, because of COVID, there aren't that many people out getting into fights, so it wasn't that busy. Obviously, it's a bit weirder because it's COVID, so everyone's masked and gloved and face visors and social distanced and all of it. Wait for quite a while to be seen, eventually do get to the reception, tell them, they send me through to the next bit, and obviously at that point, Caitlin has to go home because COVID obviously ruins everything. So thanks for coming with me, Caitlin, and she went home. And I'm just waiting there for a while. I don't know, half an hour. Something like that. And I go through and I explain to the very lovely nurse who tells me that I'm going to have to get a tetanus injection and go on antibiotics. She rubs my arm up and down in iodine, which hurts like a motherfucker. If you've never had iodine rubbed, or iodine, rubbed on a cut, my God, boy howdy. It is something else. And prescribed me co-amoxiclav film-coated tablets. So I'm on antibiotics now for the next week, and I feel like absolute dog shit, and I'm all wobbly. But I get out there and I'm halfway home, and then they call me back and they're like, I forgot to give you the tetanus jab. So then I go back, get the tetanus jab, and that fucking hurts like a motherfucker too. Forgot how painful that was. But definitely won't get tetanus now, will I? Huh? Was that the longest story I've ever told, ever, on this show? Why don't we have some ads? Because I don't have any sponsors. And now for some adverts. Beep. So, that was how my Thanksgiving ended. Fucking socks. Where are you? Oh, I can see Stevie in the garden. And I can see socks. I see you. Yeah? I ain't forgot. I see you, socks. Don't you dare bully Stevie. Oh, God. Gotta go and rescue Stevie before Socks causes any trouble.
The bliss of the abyss.
Yeah. Just had to chase away the monster again. So, that was my Thanksgiving. How was yours? Write in to theblissoftheabyss@gmail.com and tell me everything you know. Tell me all your dreams. Tell me. Oh my God. It's my go in Polytopia. Oh my God, Polytopia 2.0 is out. Oh my God, please. Can I get the Polytopia devs to come on this podcast? Please, will you come? Please, devs. Hey, devs, will you come? Please, I'd like to know. I like your game. Oh, yes. Well, I'm whooping Doug's ass as usual, but Chris has been on the up lately, and I don't like it. I thought I'd risk it with IMO, and oh my God, he's got me, hasn't he? The strength of the Bardoor. Oh, insurmountable at times. Anyway, are you meant to exercise when you're on antibiotics? Because I don't want to. But, you know, seeing as I'm a gently dying man, a gently dying man. Welcome to a gently dying man. Best way to go, isn't it? Gently. Or wait, no. Do not go gently into that good night. Rage against the dying of the light. Oh, or don't. You know, just give up. With a whimper. Poof. And then you're dead. I tell you what we did watch, though. Caitlin and myself, is The Capture. Shout out to Indy for recommending it. Wicked. It's like this super paranoid thriller. Do you remember Enemy of the State? The Will Smith movie from a million years ago. It's like that, but a 6-part series. It's wicked. If you fancy a bit of really exciting thriller, conspiracy-minded, BBC high-quality stuff, then really watch it. It's great. But now that I'm on antibiotics, I've become a bit of a shell of a man. I mean, here I am. I'm drinking beef broth, and yes, I did add some bay leaves. And this morning, I was taking out the recycling, and I really, really enjoy that now. So what happened to me? You know, where did it change? I tell you what it was. I think I've worked this one out. Yeah, some things still confuse me. I've worked this one out. Taking out the recycling, especially on a Monday, is, you know, it's like a meditation, because you tip up your bin into their bin and you see your week and exit your bin and enter their bin. You're like, oh yeah, that was the box of pasta that we had. Oh, and there goes that nice Côte de Rhône red. And there's the little vodka that we got because I was attacked by a cat that I thought loved me but doesn't. That little fuck. And stay out. And you sort of see it all disappear. And you think, you know, that's life. But I've got a clean slate. I got a new chance this week, eh? A new chance to start again and drink some beef broth. I've written down about 5 different notes scattered around the house, just saying the word tax or taxes in an attempt to motivate myself to do my taxes, and it hasn't worked. I might have talked about this before, but have you got that thing that I've got of, if I write down like a to-do list, I like a to-do list. Who doesn't like a to-do list? What's to do? This stuff on this list. But if I write a to-do list, I will start to become very contrary. You know, I'm a rebel at heart. So I'll look at the to-do list and I'll be like, you know, why don't you do that? You're telling me what to do. I'm not going to do that. F off. You know, do one. So, better do my taxes though. Hey, better do them, because otherwise, you know, oof. I mean, what are you going to do? What is anyone going to do? I saw this hilarious thing online. Part of a group that I'm in, and it just said, when was the moment you started hating your own podcast? Someone going through something, hey? I think I probably should start wrapping this up, eh? Sorry about last week's podcast, really. You know what I mean? It was really, really mental, even by my own silly standards. And I didn't promote it either, which is shocking. Shockingly unprofessional. Would never expect that, did you? From me, from this man, unprofessional? Oh, never. Never in a million years. I tell you one thing, right, just before I go, is Morocco sent some monkeys to help in the Iraq War. And that's pretty much all I've got to say about it. Yep. I love you, listeners. Please keep coming back and listening to this show, right? Because, you know, there's some terrible podcasts out there. I don't think this is one of them. In fact, it's the best podcast on the internet. Oh God, when do I have to take another tablet? Oh, getting tired now. Goodbye. Mwah. Thank you for listening to the show. This has been The Bliss of the Abyss with your host, me, Robin Emma Jones, Ruskin Denmark, whatever you want to call me. If you've enjoyed the show, please consider supporting it by becoming a patron. Go to patreon.com/The Bliss of the Abyss and give whatever you can. It really, really helps support the show and keeps it growing and becoming better and bigger and brighter. Follow us on all the social medias, follow me on all the social medias, and give us 5 stars. It helps grow the show. Keep coming back every week for more Bliss of the Abyss.
Message 1. Hey, Rose, it's me. She's calling to see if maybe you're in now, but I guess not, so I guess I will talk to you tomorrow. Have a good night. Talk to you then. Bye.